And he's screaming this, and he's saying that whatever he wants, he's gonna get. And he said it by any means, and this shows that.
Do you think he's capable and in fact has caused people to be killed?
Yes.
Multiple times?
I'm not gonna infer, I'm not gonna invent or make up details, but very few people who have that type of personality, that they feel like they can have whatever they want, very few of those people are safe to be around, especially if they're in an inebriated state. You know, he was arrested while under indictment. You know, he was arrested with narcotics, defaced firearms. If you're under federal indictment, you probably don't want to walk around with large amounts of cocaine on you. What happened to the gentleman who was arrested getting on the private jet with him, who was his mule, who carried the drugs around for him? Where is he? A lot of people are just magically missing. They're not in this, are not in the indictment. They're not witnesses. And then it's a telltale sign when somebody of his stature, you have no good character witnesses. No one is going to come up there to defend you. None of your peers. I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's definitely a fire going on.
Let me play the clip from Suge Knight, because he also said what he thought was going to happen.
If Puffy got on the stand and told the truth, I know he'll walk. If he got on the stand and say, look, I'm gay and straight. I mess with guys. I mess with women. I do it all. Puffy not guilty for the things he did to these people. He's guilty for being a cold, freaky man that want freaky things done to him. But in the Cassie situation, they could not say he was having sex with the men also, because that'll make him like it's an orgy. It won't be like sex trafficking. It won't be like forcing stuff to do. But at the end of the day, there's no way Puffy should go to prison for the rest of his life.
Your thoughts about that? Do you know Suge Knight?
I don't know him personally, but we have mutual friends. And I just feel like there are a lot of people who aren't familiar with the law. If you are paying people to cross state lines for sexual acts, that's illegal. And everybody wants to now victim shame this woman who is obviously in a trauma bond with a guy that she loved. And I feel like along that process, she met other people who started to like, listen, look, this ain't all the way right, but there is an end game. And I feel like she followed that and it paid off for her financially. But, you know, she'll forever have to live with the shame of the details that came out. I mean, you got a guy named the Punisher in here with you and your wife. You're concealing your identity. And then once he ejaculates, the Punisher, she's taking the semen and rubbing it on Diddy's nipples. That's outrageous.
It's outrageous, and I just find it revolting. However, it's not illegal.
What is illegal is coercing people into sexual acts and then giving them payment. And then you're paying for them to travel across state lines. That violates interstate commerce. People don't know the law.
Well, I actually had Suge Knight's former lawyer, Matthew Fletcher, on a few times, and the last time he said this.
Because what you're talking about now is an allegation that this, and I'm going to use its Mandingo stereotype of this crazed black man who's being prosecuted by 5 white women who are saying this man's sexual needs are insatiable and they can have sex for hours and hours and never rest and always ejaculate. That's not true from a pharmacological standpoint. That is absurd. If this was in the 60s or 70s in Mississippi, I think people would be irate.